Welcome to the Marketing Mastery Podcast, built for financial advisors like you who want more clients, more impact, and more growth. If you're tired of the fluff, the guesswork, and those cookie-cutter marketing tactics that you know never deliver, you're in the right place, because this is where real advisors learn what really works. Proven strategies, powerful insights, and actions that you can use right now to fill your calendar and grow your business with confidence. Let's dive in. First, we have our Ask the Marketing Mastery Coach segment. You got questions, we got answered. Let's get laser focused. No BS answers. We're tackling real marketing challenges that financial advisors are facing right now and how to fix them fast. Second, we have our Marketing Mastery University segment. Are you sitting on a gold mine of untapped opportunity inside your CRM? In this episode, I'll be breaking down the power of database management marketing mastery, MEG style. What are the 5 top systems financial advisors use to turn their existing relationships into consistent revenue? If you're ready to transform your database into a marketing machine that works for you, this episode is your blueprint, baby. Don't go anywhere. The show starts right now.
Welcome to the Advisor Marketing Mastery Podcast with Mark E. Gaffney. This podcast is your front row seat to the proven frameworks, strategies, and the insights that have propelled thousands of financial professionals to the top of their field since 2003. The show starts right now.
Welcome to the Ask the Marketing Mastery Coach, the Q&A segment where elite financial advisors like you send in your most pressing questions, and I give you direct, actionable answers to help you market smarter, grow faster, and break through your next ceiling. If you're ready to get clarity, crush confusion, and convert more, let's jump in. My first one is from Jessica in Austin, Texas, and she writes, "How can I build, Mark, a strong personal brand as a financial advisor without sounding too salesy?" Oh, I love this, Jessica. That's a great question and one a lot of advisors struggle with. Let's unpack what authentic branding really looks like in today's market. Okay, the first thing that I want to say is, what does that even mean, right? I don't think advisors understand what branding means. So for us, it's about positioning. Okay. And I always like to start with this because I think that it's important to note, if I went to Google today to look for an electrician or a plumber or a roofer, most people see those as a commodity, right? Now, there's roofing companies that are 3 years old. There are roofing companies that are 40 years old, have thousands of clients, right? But you have to make sure that you let the public know about that. So what we do with our advisors is really simple. We say to you, we're going to take a look at everything, do a full brand audit. And I'm going to talk about brand audit here in a moment. But the key thing that I want to talk about is, how are you positioned in the marketplace with your marketing, both internal marketing and your external marketing collateral? Do you look like an expert, an authority, and in some cases, a celebrity? If not, then you're part of what I refer to as the white noise that's out there. So I get this at times, because we'll put this big elaborate thing and we want to make you look like the best thing since sliced bread. Some advisors get uncomfortable with that because they're real people, right? That's not how they live their life. And I have to make something abundantly clear. There's 2 things we're talking about here: the person and the persona. Okay, the person puts their pants on one leg at a time, just like we all do, normal, regular people. The persona is your image in the marketplace. And let me tell you something right now. If you want to attract rock star clients, you better be looking like a rock star in the marketplace. So there's a number of things that we can do here. So at MEG, we call it the IRB, the Irresistible Rockstar Brand. What does that mean? It means, what are you doing to separate yourself and stand out and compel people to come in and see you? So there's a number of things that we like to do. One is, are you an author? Are you a best-selling author? By the way, we can facilitate all the things that I'm about to talk about. Are you a radio talk show host? Are you a podcast host? Are you a TV personality? Have you written articles in Forbes or the Wall Street Journal? Couple things come to mind for me here. One is, I go and see advisors and they've done all these things, but it doesn't say it anywhere. How you're not leveraging all this beautiful PR, all of these rock star elevating pieces for your brand. Why did you do them in the first place? So our goal is to come in, we do a brand audit that looks at logo, tagline, messaging, color palette, etc., the whole thing. And we come back to you and say, okay, John, Mary, this is what's going on. You can look a lot better in the marketplace. And by the way, this could be your website. It could be your collateral. It could be your seminar materials. All of it. It needs the ad agency look through everything. Everything should look the same, okay? So that you have a unique, cohesive brand that gets your messaging across to the public looking like a rock star because you are the best thing since sliced bread. Okay, my next question is from Tom in Tampa, and he writes, Mark, how can I use email marketing without annoying my clients or sounding spammy? Okay, Tom, that's a fantastic question. Email works, but only when done right. And there are best practices here. Let's talk about how to make it personal and professional. And the first thing that comes to mind for me is stop doing these useless weekly updates from your BD, your RIA, or whoever you get them from. Nobody's reading them. Oh, but Mark, some people read them. Yeah, the minority. But here's what you're doing. You're burning the rest of your database with it because let's face the facts. When I get up in the morning and I look at my email, you know what I see? Dozens and dozens of emails. I need to immediately knock that down to exactly what needs to be responded to or what is of interest to me. So what you're doing is you're essentially becoming the boy who cried wolf because you're sending out all of this useless email every day, right? Every week, whatever it might be. And nobody's reading it anymore because it's basically the same thing over and over. All right, Mark, how do we get past that? Use your email for what's important. And for me, what's going to be important is using my email to target two things. I'm targeting an office appointment, live or virtual. I'm targeting an RSVP, live or virtual. Let me take both of those. So the RSVP could be to a seminar. It could be at a webinar. It could be a client event. Two types of client events. Client appreciation, right? Where we're going to honor our clients and give them a wonderful experience. It could be a client bring a referral event. You need to be doing those. And by the way, I'm going to talk about that in the university segment today because that's a great way to get referrals. So twice a month is what I like to be doing. But here's the kicker. Here's the write down moment. When you put email and you send it out, and in the subject line, it says, you're cordially invited to our wine dinner, whatever that might be. And then right next to that in parentheses, it says video 48 seconds in parentheses. Now, you're a trusted source for those people in your database. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to open the email and they're going to watch the video. Oh, that's not me talking. That's the data, and it's abundantly clear. Emails that have video in them get opened and get watched. All right, Tom, I hope that helps you out there. That was a great question. We really appreciate it. My next question is from David in Boston, and David writes, Mark, what's the best way to track whether my marketing is actually working? David, what's up? I love this question. Too few advisors are tracking, and I'll tell you something right now. Right now, the biggest firms that I work with aren't just trackers, they're hyper trackers. They know their numbers in real time. Listen, if you don't know your numbers, how can you innovate? All you know is I'm making money or I'm not making money. That is an incredible waste of this super valuable asset called marketing budget. What if you knew your numbers really well, so that at the end of the year, end of the quarter, mid-year, you could say, okay, we're making money with these, but we're not making great money with these. Listen, it's all about ROI. And what we want to see with our clients is that you're making $3 to $5 for every dollar invested in your marketing. And I'm going to go over some of the KPIs that I think are really important. And I know that it can seem overwhelming in the beginning. So I say start simple. What's your number one marketing funnel? That's the one we want to track. And I mean, number one with investment and potentially number one with ROI. So I'll take the number one marketing funnel for most of the advisors that we work with, and that's live events. That's a seminar. It could be a college class. It could be a dinner seminar. Heck, it could be a Social Security seminar at a local community center. And if I'm going to take these KPIs, first thing we like to know is, what is our response rate? In other words, I sent out 10,000 people. I had 100 responses. That's a 1% response rate. But I'm going to tell you, for us internally, the more important metric, yes, we track response rate with everyone, is room fill rate. Okay, we like to see all of our clients with at least a 0.8 response rate, but in room fill rate, we want to see 90% of the chairs filled. That's right, you heard me. If I've got 30 people in that 30 seats, 90% is 27. I can show you how to do that almost every time. And in a lot of cases, we have a wait list. And sometimes that wait list is so big that we can set up a rollover night, which I call the free money night. Okay, response rate, room fill rate, and then buying units. Usually it's about 70% of the people in there are buying units. That's a national average. Of those buying units that you had in there, okay, how many of them did you convert? What percentage to an office appointment? Okay, we like to see, we say the money zone is 40 to 50%, okay? But we have plenty of advisors that are 50% plus on a regular basis. Again, we can show you how to do that. And then lastly for us is, for every 10 appointments that you scheduled at your seminar, how many of them showed up in the office? The money zone, okay, is 60 to 80%. In other words, for every 10 appointments you set up, 6 to 8 show up in the office. If your metrics are not showing that, clearly you need a little bit of help right there. Love to help you, but that's what we want to do. I'd say start there. And I'm going to do a shout out right now to an organization that I've worked with for years. They're called Track That Advisor. You want to talk to Molly at Track That Advisor? This is a company that has one function. All they do day in and day out is help advisors track their metrics, their KPIs, their analytics. They're amazing. I recommend them highly. I'm giving the 2 thumbs up right now. Talk to Molly. Okay, today's episode is being brought to you by MEG, where marketing mastery meets elite advisor success. Since 2013, we've helped thousands of advisors break through plateaus and hit their biggest production and revenue goals ever. With precision target marketing, high converting advertising, and expert consulting. Whether you're running seminars, hosting webinars, looking to dominate on TV or radio, or just want your marketing finally dialed in, you know what I'm talking about. No more scattered. Let's dial it in. MEG does it all. We're a full service agency built specifically for financial advisors who are ready to stop dabbling in marketing and start dominating with it. Here's the part you don't want to miss. I'm inviting you to book a 15-minute intro Zoom with me personally. Not a team member, not someone else, me personally. We call it the $1 Million Zoom because it's packed with the kind of insights that can shift the trajectory of your business fast. No pressure, no obligation, 100% complimentary in just 15 minutes. You'll see exactly how we can bring all of your marketing under one roof, tailor it to your brand, and drive real results. Just head over to markedwardgaffney.com. That's markedwardgaffney.com and grab your spot now. MEG, your all-in-one marketing powerhouse. All right, back to the show. Okay, my next question is from Tyler in Colorado. What's up, Tyler? He writes, Mark, how can I combine all these marketing tactics, TV, seminars, referrals, and digital into one cohesive strategy? Tyler, that's the big picture question. Let's discuss how to tie all your marketing efforts into one unified, results-driven strategy. First of all, I love this. And I'm going to guess right now you're well over 20 million in assets because I work with a lot of advisors. Those are amazing funnels. Side note for a minute, because this is what I always do. I always go on a side note. Over COVID, we had a little extra time on our hands. So what we decided to do was take a look at all of our clients that were over 50 million and see if they had some metric, some piece of analysis, some piece of data in there that we could share with advisors below 50 million, above 50 million, above 100 million of total assets in the calendar year. And you know what we found? There was one ubiquitous metric that all of these 50 to $100 million advisors shared. And that is 85% of their production came from, and that's 85% plus, because some of them were 90, 92, 93%, 3 revenue creating funnels. 3. That means if you become masterful at your advisory firm with 3 revenue creating funnels, it will get you anywhere you want to go. At 100 million, it was 4. And I'd make the argument to get to 20 million, you need 1, possibly 2, okay, to get you to 20 million. You know what? I'm going to do a university segment on that at some point. But let's talk about what we're talking about here today. First of all, good for you that you're doing that. One of the things that really pops for me too is if you're doing that, that means you have really good people on staff, okay? Because it's difficult to get all of those together. So what I would say to someone, first thing is you need synergy, okay? All of these marketing campaigns need to be talking about all the marketing campaigns. What do I mean by that? The seminars talk about TV. The TV talks about radio. The radio talks about referrals. The referrals talk about seminars. All of it together, you get the synergy. I'll give you an example. I have a wonderful client out in Anaheim, California. They do all of the above. And they tell me, Mark, when someone comes into the office, they're like, hey, we saw you on TV. We heard you on the radio. For them, because of their omnipresence in the marketplace, they're not 100% sure why that client is there. I'll give an example. They may have come in to a seminar. So the seminar was the eventual piece that got them into the office, but what got them to the seminar may have been the TV. What got them to watch the TV show may have been the radio. You see where I'm going here, right? All of these things work in conjunction because everything talks about everything else. So you need that synergy, that homogeneous look between all of your marketing, okay? And then the key piece for me here is at the end of the day, you'll hear me say this over and over and over because I go into advisory firms, small firms, sub 20 million. It's not really small, smaller, I'll call them. And they've got 6 or more revenue creating funnels that they're doing at the same time. I'm like, what are you doing? You do not have the manpower, the bandwidth, or the investment to do 6 marketing funnels. Let's knock that down to 2. And none of these are talking. They've got separate brand names. So you're investing in building marketing funnels with essentially different types of brands. We are not a fan of that. So at the end of the day, all of that marketing does 2 things. We're driving RSVPs to an event, live or digital. We're driving office appointments, live or virtual. If you're doing marketing that does something other than those 2 things, RSVPs, live or virtual, office appointments, live or virtual, stop. Please. Just or minimize your investment, because I know there's a lot of people in the digital world right now, and I'll do that discussion another time. By the way, the digital world for me, and I'm going to talk about that more today, is not a 1, 2, or 3 revenue creating funnel for bigger financial advisors today. It isn't. There are other things in front of that drive revenue, 1, 2, and 3, as far as the most amount of return on investment. Okay. So seminar RSVPs, webinar RSVPs, office appointments, live or virtual? All right, thanks so much for that question. All right, my next question is from Elaine in Scottsdale, Arizona. Hello, Elaine. Mark, should I do seminars or educational workshops to put appointments on my calendar? Which is better? Elaine, both types of seminars can be incredibly powerful if done right. Let's break this down. First of all, every advisor should be doing live events, okay? Because live events are the number one way financial advisors create production and revenue. Now, being where you are, okay, there's a good bit of competition. What I love about advisors that are doing both college class and dinner seminars is that, believe it or not, and it was a great study done by Leading Response, tons of advisors, thousands of events, and here's what they came back with. When you mail to your market, these are two different types of people, okay? The college class people aren't coming to the dinner seminar. The dinner seminar people aren't going to the college class. In fact, the bleed over was 10%. So when you do this, you open up your potential to get brand new clients. In other words, if you were college class only, you go into the dinner world, it's a whole new set of people. And if you're doing dinner only, gosh, I recommend getting into the college classes, which, by the way, there's a lot of them out there. We can help you find the best ones. You should be doing college classes as well. And there's a lot of things that I love about it. Okay, but for me, this is really going to come down to personality and time. Okay, not everyone who does. What I love about the college classes, let me start there, is that it's not flashy. Okay, it's not souped up. You're the proctor. What sells the event is that you're doing it at an institution of higher education. It's 2 nights. By virtue of the workbook and the slides you put up, you build rapport, you build trust with everyone in the room to get those appointments. Now, for me, there are very specific best practices to getting that appointment, and don't you dare wait till night 2 to start garnering appointments, because there are people on night 1 who want to meet with you. Okay, so I'll give you that little tidbit. For those that are doing dinner seminars, yes, we jack up the brand. We make you look like the best thing since sliced bread. Okay, so that's more personality that's going to have to go into that, and less time. Because for some advisors, and I'm going to use the example here that, let's say you're doing less than 10 mailers per year. Okay, you're doing 6, you're doing 7, you're doing 8 mailers. In each mailer, there are 2 events, right? If you're doing less than 10, then I would select the one that you're best at, the one that's most appropriate for you. Because for me, yes, I love the college class, but if I can do the college class in 1 hour, 1 night at a dinner seminar, right? Why am I going to do 2 nights at a college? That's up to you. I love them both. I love that in both of them, you get high net worth prospect appointments into the office. So they're both great. So I hope that I've answered that question for you, Elaine. I love both of these, and that's going to be a personal preference at the end of the day. Okay, my next question is from Samantha in Dallas. What's up, Samantha? All right, Mark. Are television commercials still an effective way for financial advisors to reach new clients? Check it. Or has digital completely taken over? Gosh, I love this smart question. TV is the gold standard for advisors. There's no data, none, zero, to suggest that the digital world is in any way, shape, or form making but a small dent right now in traditional television. Listen, I know what's going on. Listen, the digital world is so sexy, right? The AI piece and the this and all that and all the things that you can do. None, zero of my bigger clients is their digital marketing number 1, number 2, or number 3 in their revenue creating funnels. I love television. There is no better way to build your brand in a marketplace than television done correctly, okay? Because I'll go to advisor offices and I'll say, we'll do the whole discovery and television will come up and I could see their face, television. Because it was one of the largest investments they've ever made and it went south. Why? Okay, television is caveat emptor, buyer beware. Let me tell you what you don't want to do, okay? Chances are you're going to be working with a network. If you do it locally, you're going to be working with a network TV station or cable station. I always remind advisors, yesterday they were with a roofer. The day before that, they were with a doctor. The day before that, they were with a chiropractor. The day before that, they were with a pizza shop. They're good at shooting video and making a pretty commercial, but that doesn't mean that they know our niche and what our niche responds to on television. Second, I am not convinced that they're going to be a television fiduciary for you. What do I mean by that? They're going to sell to you a retail rate card, and a lot of what's going to be in there potentially is going to be remnant, the things other people didn't buy. So, me no likey, okay? So what we do is we come in, we shoot the commercials, we create the message, we approve it with you, we send it to compliance, and we shoot great commercials going after the type of client you want. You might be a tax-heavy firm. You might be estate planning. You might be income for life. You might be preservation protection. You might be an all-in-one. We've got the CPA. We've got the attorneys. There are so many different ways that we can lead to get the specific type of client that you're looking for. There is no way in the world, okay? 20 years I've been working with financial services people. There is no way in the world that you're going to get a better consult on TV than we can. And the next piece of that is we buy specific shows. Yes, there's a bigger investment for that. Let me tell you what I mean. We buy news. Why? People are very loyal to their news program. If I watch NBC News at 6 o'clock or I watch Fox News at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, I'm very, very loyal to that program. I don't watch NBC one night, CBS the next, Fox the next. I watch my news program. Why is that important? Because when I buy that program, I get the same 10,000, 15, 20, 25,000 households, 55 plus, every single night. The best way for me to get my message across is to hit the same people over and over, the people that I want to hear my message. So we're very specific on how we craft this so that you get the best possible response. We kill it with TV. I love traditional network and cable television. Love it. And whether that's a 15, a 30, a 60, or a 120, we can help you craft that message. Let me wrap up by saying, since 2013, we've helped thousands of advisors break records with their production and revenue with laser-focused marketing, powerful media strategies, and high-converting campaigns that deliver measurable results. Let us help you. If you're serious about growing your production, your assets gathered, MEG is your all-in-one marketing powerhouse. Don't miss your chance to book a complimentary 15-minute $1 million Zoom with me. Go to markedwardgaffney.com. That's markedwardgaffney.com. No fluff, just proven insights that can change the trajectory of your business fast. All right, got a question you'd like to feature here on the show? Go to our website, markedwardgaffney.com, or DM us on LinkedIn. By the way, all questions will get answered whether we air the show or not, and we answer them fast for you. And remember, you're just one smart strategy away from your next breakthrough. This episode was powered by MEG. When you're ready to grow with confidence, we're here to help you dominate your market. Dominate it. Until next time, keep mastering your marketing. Welcome to Marketing Mastery University. Today we're diving into one of the most overlooked yet most powerful assets in your entire business, your database. That's right, your list of clients and prospects and referral partners isn't just a list, man. It's not just a list. It's the beating heart of your marketing strategy. And when managed correctly, it can drive predictable revenue, higher retention, and more qualified referrals. More qualified referrals than any ad campaign ever could. In this episode, we're going to unpack what I call database management mastery, the framework that turns your existing relationships into consistent growth. We'll cover the following: why a formal referral strategy is essential because hoping for referrals isn't a strategy. By creating a system that consistently generates them is the power of the annual review. Not just to check in on portfolios, but to deepen relationships, uncover new opportunities, and keep your clients engaged year-round. How to capture dollars between reviews by identifying those life events and money in motion moments that often go unnoticed. If you're not staying connected, right, you're not getting that. We're going to talk about how to nurture your prospects, turning cold leads into warm conversations and warm conversations into lifelong clients through thoughtful, automated touches. And finally, how to manage your lead flow, keeping your pipeline organized, prioritized, and consistently producing new opportunities without letting anything slip through the cracks. So if you're ready, okay, you're sitting on a gold mine of untapped opportunity inside your CRM. Let's get to it because you're in the right place. Stick around. By the end of today's episode, you'll have a roadmap to transform your database into a marketing machine that works for you. All right, I'm going to begin with, I want you, if you've got a pad and paper, to write down the production that you did from your database. I'm going to get into all those 5 areas again. And my goal today is to help you double that production. And by production, I mean assets gathered from your database, okay? First and foremost, when I talk about all 5, with every advisory firm that we work with, the main focus is always referrals, right? Because there is no better prospect than the one that John and Mary sent in. So Fred and Ethel now want exactly what you did, or a derivative of what you did for John and Mary. They're yours to lose. If they get on the calendar, they're yours to lose, right? In other words, they're ready to do business with you. So first and foremost for me, I want you to write down what an average referral is worth. And some of you may not know that, but I'm going to want you to go in. You did 10 referrals last year, right? The 10 referrals together were $4 million. That's $400,000 per household referral. Okay, how am I going to potentially double that? Okay, so I want you to write out this many referrals now became this many referrals. So 10 to 20. What are we going to do to get to 20 referrals? For me, it starts with creating the culture of referrals in your office. Listen, advisors who create an experience for their clients become very referable. And I mean, you can do an average job, but the clients experience you in such a wonderful manner that it becomes easier for them to say, you should go to ABC Financial and work with John Smith. He was wonderful. His team was great, because they felt great about the experience they had. The other side of that coin is you can do an exceptional job, but you didn't provide a good experience to the client. I would make the argument very strongly that you are less referable. So it all starts with the culture and getting buy-in from your team that we are a referral culture at our office. At MEG, we call this the VIP Ritz-Carlton Client Family Experience. And there are a lot of pieces to that, probably more pieces than I can talk about today. But you break it really down into a few different areas. There are multiple ways that we can touch our client during the year. So write this down. I can be face-to-face, video, phone, mailbox, email, digital, social media. Those are the ways that we can touch our clients. And for all of them, in particular in the referral world, we talk about creating a deliverable, which I'm going to show you here shortly. And we believe this, we don't believe, we know, okay, this works. And I'm going to show you an example of that here in a moment. Okay, where to begin? I always like to say if you've been in business 1 to 5 years, 20% of your production should be coming from your database. Why? You haven't been around long enough to build a big database to get a lot of referral work from it. If you're 6 to 10 years, 30%. And if you're 10 years plus, that number should really be, 50% plus. Again, I go back to my big firms. They're doing 50% plus from their database, from referrals, because they ask about referrals. They have a formal referral strategy. They do referral events. They talk about referrals all the time, and they have a culture in office that's all about garnering referrals. So where do we start? We start with who do you want to refer, right? Your database should be broken out in some way, shape, or form like this. Your A pluses, your A's, your B's, and your C's. Clearly, we want birds of a feather that flock together in our A's and our A pluses. But I'd say in the beginning, we're going to market to everyone. A pluses, A, B, C. So how do we break that down? It's really the 3 A's for us. It's assets, attitude, and advocate. What do I mean by that? Just because the client has 5 million with you does not make them an A plus client, because they could be blowing up your phones every day, harassing your employees. That's a C client as far as I'm concerned. On the other side of the equation, I could have this lovely older lady who maybe has 200,000 with us, but every other week it seems she's sending in one of her gal pals for a referral. That's an A plus client. Okay, this is a business partner, and we want to treat her like an A plus client. And the other's attitude. Listen, if you've been around for a while like I have, I always like to say one of our criteria is we like to work with nice people. I've been doing this for a long time. I don't work with nasty people at all, never ever, and either should you. So assets, attitude, and advocate. The next piece in the formal referral strategy with all these pieces, if you don't have one now or you're marginally into some sort of referral program, you should have a kickoff event, okay, that is designed for clients only, where you're going to talk about a small snippet in that whether it's a lunch or, a day at the museum, a day at the zoo, a park, whatever that's going to be. A small piece of that, when you thank everyone for coming out, you're going to talk about your new referral program. I'm going to give you that little snippet of what you want to say, okay, when you do the referral program. So you've got the referral strategy, you've got the kickoff, and the next piece is we have to put all the pieces together, because the day after that event, you're going to send out basically a Hallmark card to everybody, all of your database, announcing this is your new database, beautiful referral strategy for everyone, okay? You're going to make it really simple. I have tons of examples on how to do this. Please don't reinvent the wheel. Okay, so for us, the piece de resistance here is the deliverable, and we call it the MEG Wow Box. And I'm going to show you a couple of examples of that right now. Here's one. It's a smaller kind of portfolio. Here's another one. It's a hard shell portfolio. They're all different price points, by the way. And then really the Mac Daddy is this one here. It is a box. What is that? Roughly 13 by 9 by 1 inch plus. Okay. And what is inside here is what it's all about. Now, why do we do that? I tell advisors, you cannot assume that your clients are going to refer you. Here's what we know here's what we know is going to happen during the course of a year. Your clients 50 plus, certainly 55 plus, are going to have a conversation about retirement planning or financial planning with a friend, family, coworker, or neighbor at some point during the next 12 months. Without fail, they're going to have it, right? What we want to make sure is they don't end the whole thing by saying, oh yeah, my guy's name is Fred. It's ABC Financial. If you just Google it, ask for Fred and tell him Pete sent you. Well, how critically awful is that? Even if, and maybe they don't even get to that point. Yeah, I use ABC Financial. There's a lot of people there. They'll help you. No. When they hand this over, hey, I spoke with John Smith at ABC Financial. Here's all of his information. In this box, we make you out to be, as I love to say, guys, the best thing since sliced bread. Okay? You open this up, and inside there's what we call a shock and awe folder. Okay? All about you and your company. It's beautiful, right? And then in here, everything they need to know about you to perfection. You might put a book in there. You might put some other ancillary material in there. But the key piece is the first step letter. So rather than have all this information that they don't know what to do with, I'll read it to you. The first step to work toward your financial security starts with reading this letter. 2 paragraphs on what they need to do. It's all right here, whether they open anything else or not. Everything they need to know to call your office and set up an appointment is right here. I can't tell you how many times I've had clients call me, I got another box in the office, another box in the office, another box in the office, right? And this will help you because what we're doing is we're teaching our clients how to refer us, and we're making it easy for them because now all they need to do is hand this box over and say something nice about you. And if that other person is in the market for your products and services, they're going to call you. Maybe not right away, but this type of thing does not get thrown into the garbage, okay? It gets put on a desk. It gets put somewhere that says, I'm going to take action on that later. I'm not ready to do it right now. But when they're ready, everything they need is right in here. And why is that important? Because when you're talking to someone, when your client's talking to someone, they're not going to remember everything that they said, but everything that they said is in here for you. Okay, so we love getting this out. How can we use this referral box? Kickoff events, okay, the one that I talked about. We can use it at client functions, at annual reviews, when a prospect becomes a new client, contract delivery. There's all these great places to do it. And let me give you the pitch. I love it because it's so dang simple. Ready? I'm sitting across from 2 clients right now, John and Mary. John and Mary, if I could only clone you guys 100 times over. I don't know if you know this, but last year, 33%, 1/3 of our business came from great people like you referring friends, family, coworkers, and neighbors. God, if I can only clone you guys 100 times over. Hey, if you happen to know anyone who could use our services, just like we did for you, would you hand them this? Zip. And I just put it out. And they take it. And you know what we love? We love when they say, hey, could you give us 2 of those? And you say, of course I can. You've got it out. You put it out there. Hey, these things don't work sitting in a closet. Now you get your referral machine started, putting hundreds and hundreds of these out into the public all the time through your clients. It works, and we'd love to help you with that. All right. A lot of other pieces to the referral program. I'm not going to get into like little nitty-gritty specifics, but one of the things that we love at MEG are client events. And I like to remind that there are 2 types of client events that we can do. Client appreciation, where we're just strictly putting love on the clients, baby, putting lots of love. Advisory firms who have figured out how to do this have very, very loyal clients and get tons of referrals. Now, the second piece of that is doing client bring a friend, bring a referral, bring an introduction events. We love having the boxes there. But what I hear often, and here's my little tidbit of the day for you, is, you know, Mark, we've done these, but the only people that come are our clients and they're not bringing anybody. I'm like, we're going to stop that right now. You're going to put 1 sentence into your invitation that changes all of this. And that sentence very simply is, your friend is your ticket, right by the phone number or QR code or whatever. Actually, we don't use a QR code for this. We want this strictly to be by phone. So when they call in, now everyone who takes phone calls at the office has to be briefed on this, okay? They're going to say, John and Mary, that's wonderful. We've got you on here. Who are your guests? Well, we don't have any guests at the moment. John and Mary, we only have some limited seats. This is an opportunity for us to make new friends, meet new people. I'll tell you what, call me back when you have the 2 guests that you want to bring, okay? This is a referral event. Remember, your friend is your ticket for this event. Okay, great, wonderful. Boom. They'll call you back. Now, the second piece of this, and by the way, that goes on the front and the back of the invitation. I'd show this to you, okay? It is so prominent. You can't miss it. The other piece of this is, I'll hear, our referral event didn't really work out that well. Okay, tell me more. Well, we did this no food event and we pitched long-term care. I'm like, folks, you can't do a boring event and expect your clients to invite people. Now, you want to do a high-end pairing of wine and food? Oh, that's going to knock it out of the park. And I'm going to get to in a minute. Great types of client events that get your clients excited and they get excited to invite someone because it's fun and exciting and it's different and it's wonderful. 2 things. Remember that, okay? Put that on there. Your client is your ticket and make these events exciting and fun. In fact, if you call or you go and you set up a 15-minute appointment for database management marketing, we have 3 white papers on everything that I just talked about that we want to give to you. The MEG Wow Box referral. I'm giving this for free, baby. FREE. What's up? The Ultimate Advisor Practice, otherwise known as the Client Love Program, and our very own, the MEG 100 Touch Relationship Marketing System. You know, it's funny. I was talking to this one client. He goes, relationship marketing, you shouldn't call it that. I'm like, okay, what should we call it? He goes, this is what we call it here and we love it. I go, tell me. He goes, we call it a client love affair. And I'm like, oh my God, I love that. We have to change everything to client love affair. Think about that. We want to have a passionate, delicious, beautiful, professional relationship with our clients. A client love affair. I hear the music. I'm making this into a Hollywood movie, okay? For your referrals, start having a client love affair. All right, so we talked about a formal referral strategy. I got 4 more pieces to cover with you. Okay, that is an annual review strategy, how to acquire dollars between reviews, prospect nurturing, and lead management. But guess what? I'm saving it for the next episode. You're going to have to tune in. I have so much great information. We put out our podcasts every 3 weeks, so stay on the lookout for it, and I will help you get these other areas of your database management marketing mastery under control. Well, that's it for today's episode of the Marketing Mastery Podcast. I hope you leave more equipped, more encouraged, and more empowered to build a practice that reflects excellence and honors your calling. At MEG, we believe your business can be a beacon, one that leads with purpose, serves with heart, and grows with intention. Until next time, keep showing up boldly, serve your clients faithfully, and never forget that the gifts God placed in you were meant to multiply. Stay sharp, stay faithful, and as always, keep mastering your marketing. God bless.
You've been tuning in to the Advisor Marketing Mastery Podcast with Mark E. Gaffney. Until next time, command attention, own your narrative, and market with distinction.